Hello, world. Today is Talkin Live and Strategy and Murder.
Now, let's get ready. You are Talkin Live with Lamar Bearden.
Welcome back to Talkin Live, and it's a sad show that I have to do today, but it's a show that I feel like should touch the hearts of those have seen what happened in the last 3 days. And of course, 9/11, of course, 24 years ago. Let's talk about the tragedy, the disaster, the event 24 years ago, 9/11. First, let's do that. We talk about it, and we go back in our minds, and we see them towers. I was in Boca Raton in my house down in Florida, and I was just getting up and fixing to watch the news every morning around 8 o'clock. I'd get up 7:30 and watch NBC News. Well, and then as I sat there and watched, I started seeing these planes running into Twin Towers. I was sitting there drinking my coffee, watching. I seen these planes going to the tower, and they just, bam, they went this, they hit the towers, and I thought, was this some kind of joke or something? Because I didn't realize there's such a thing to happen in America. But see, what happened was like it is today. Today, we have that possibility because of administrations letting our enemies come to visit us and live with us. I mean, the border wasn't so bad then, but right now we have opened the borders in the past, back in 24, all the way back to 2000. Everything in the world has come to this country. And you can see all these people running. They were so shocked they didn't know what's going on. None of us wondered what was going on. And I was in Boca, and I started coming back to Chattanooga, and my bookkeeper called me and said, we're afraid America's under attack. So fear was over the country. Destruction was happening in America, something we had never seen before. America has never had, back in the early years, it's never had a war like after the Civil War. It's never have a real war in our country where people are getting bombed like Ukraine, like we've never had that. It's a possibility we're going to, and it's a possibility that our government has the blame for it. Not all our government, but the ones that are desiring power more than justice. They make fun of this man getting killed, getting shot. What you got to say about Jeff, about this 9/11? What you just telling me where you was at the time?
Right. We remember every detail of where we were, what we did that day, what we did with our son, who was pretty young at that day, and we just spent all night in the dark on the couch watching everything as it developed for over all of these hours and watching that happen. And I mean, it's a day we can never forget.
A lot of times you don't like for people to talk about disaster. We're living in a country right now that had disaster, and we're probably going to have more. And the truth is what it's all about. What we've seen, what we will see, is what it's all about. All these people dying for no reason except a belief or just they hate us. They hate our guts. And then our government lets people like that, like Biden, let all these people come in our country that hate our guts. And they're in colleges, they're everywhere. They're They're your neighbor, probably some neighbors. And never got, we don't, me and Jeff's a military man. He was in the Navy. You don't forget nothing like that. But you out there that's living the life like nothing can happen. See that person, see that stuff, there's shots of people jumping out of the
People, there's the fear, the unity, people coming together in ways that we hadn't seen before, even in Oklahoma. But we saw how fear can be weaponized, how it shaped the policy of our country. From then on, the culture and...
Yeah, in my way of looking at everything, you can't blame maybe Bush. You could blame Doe, but he was president then. You can't blame Bush, but you could blame this that's bleeding country's heart. These bleeders, they bleed, and they think they owe everybody overseas everything. We don't owe nobody nothing. We owe the American people what we owe. The government owes the American people. We don't owe the people coming across the border. We don't owe them nothing. And these sorry judges getting up there after these murders and stuff like that and letting them go. What are they going to keep on doing it if they keep letting them go? I heard one making fun of this one. When it happened, we had people that thought they had a sense of humor, but they were ignorant and idiots that make fun of such thing. I mean, we have that. We have people in this country that make fun of disasters, make fun of people suffering.
Yeah, I don't remember that in 9/11. I was just so impressed. It only lasted 6 months, but we got a good solid 6 months of the country coming together like they did during World War II. And then all went to crap.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Jeff, America's never had, other than the Civil War that I know of, that people was fighting one another in this country. They don't know nothing about that. This generation today thinks it's funny. They think they're right, and the only thing that's right is what is right, not what people think. What is right is what's right. I mean, and we could get off into, this Kirk, Charlie Kirk getting killed. And, I mean, I might be going over the line or something, but I think when they catch this man, and they're sure it's him, he needs to be tried, judged, and executed.
Yeah, they still have the firing squad in Utah.
I mean, imagine the pain the children is going through. Imagine the pain of these people. There's people still sick and they're dying over that right there. And everybody just goes along like it can't happen again. It's going to, if it ever happens, it's probably going to be a lot worse than that. You let one crazy sucker with a nuclear weapon get over here, which Biden might have sent a truck to move one across the border. I don't know. I mean, I just can't believe that after all this has happened, they could open the borders up. And then said they remember nobody. I mean, me and you, Jeff, a lot of people as patriots, really American citizens, really Americans, they remember it. They remember all the suffering and the hell that people went through in that Twin Towers. They remember it, the ones that are alive. They remember it. Do you know what the answer to our negligence, bleeding hearts is?
No.
You don't know what the answer is?
No.
Well, you take this guy that stabbed this little girl, young, beautiful girl, wouldn't bother nobody, went from one hell and then come over here and had some kind of life. And that man ended that life. And that man's he needs his life ended. You got the video, he don't need no trial. He don't need nothing. You got the evidence. If it's a trial, it needs to be showed, handcuffed, and took to the lecture, a gallows or a firing squad. Put away that cancer that we have in this country. Get rid of them cancers. You'll never get rid of all of them, but you can make it a little better for everybody. What if your daughter, she come over, she was riding that, and just because she's Ukrainian, she still had a heart, still had a soul, still had a life. And this man ended it because of meanness. It ain't, people call it crazy.
It's both.
Yeah, well, they're crazy with
he had the mindset to walk away from it, to hide his knife, to take his shirt or sweatshirt off so he wouldn't look the same. He had the mindset to wrap his knife in his shirt. So he's crazy, but he's not crazy.
Well, what did the Bible say? The devil come down to steal, kill, and destroy. That man was the devil himself. He had the devil himself in him. He wasn't crazy. He was crazy, all right, with the devil to take a life like that. I mean, we got people who bring babies in the world, kill them. That's just like a profession to them. But that sucker can do something like that. I innocent baby, and it's okay. But that sucker can do this to a innocent woman, and just like he needs to go to court, he has rights. He ain't got no rights. When you're sure, absolutely sure. I'm not talking about taking people to court that on guesswork but this man has a video showing him doing it. And until America gets off that bandwagon about how civilized we are, if we were civilized, we wouldn't be letting babies be killed. And that's why Charlie is dead now.
But this is what makes me even madder, is this shot here. And if you watch the video of these people, nobody helped her. They grabbed their phones and their purse and said, the heck with her. He's already taken off. So there's no fear of that. They're just selfish and let the white girl bleed. Nobody tried to stop the bleeding or anything. And she was, you could see the tear in her eyes as she just falls. These are awful people, and I hope they get called out like the judge did. We got the picture of the judge that let this guy out on a written promise to come back.
Oh, this guy that stabbed that woman, right?
Yeah.
See, the judge needs stringed up beside him.
Yes.
Right beside him. I mean, what if that was his daughter? Would he let him go then? Would he send a medal to him? They're giving him a medal for murdering an innocent person by letting them go. They should be locked up, took to court, and all the proof that showed, and that life should be ended. That man's life should be ended because he is a menace. He is someone who'll do it again. He got a thrill out of it. He done it for a thrill. And he done it because he had no thought of repercussion on what he did. Well, the judge let me go. See, you judges out there, when they kiss the man for killing Charlie Kirk, I'd like to know how many of you judges is going to be there to let him go. How many of you are going to say it's okay, he needs a bond, he's got rights? These people in this country, they have no rights if they don't belong here. And these people in these colleges, kids there are supposed to be studying to be doctors and all the other different things. But all they are agitators, protesters, and criminals. They have become criminals in these colleges. They're not Americans. They're just, and if I was president, there wouldn't nobody in this world come in this country with green, pink, any kind of card without this checked out for the day it is born. I mean, that's the way I feel about it, because I'm sick and tired of watching these judges let these murders go, and then Congress goodness saying it's okay to murder a baby. I'm sick and tired of that. That's what Kirk was. He was sick and tired of watching this country go to hell in a handbasket. Yes. The man was a just man. He was a man that believed in right and wrong and morality.
Yeah, I was a big fan. I listened to his podcast and watch a lot of videos of him interacting with kids, and he just wasn't a political figure. He was a man of deep Christian conviction. It wasn't just a side note. It was the foundation of everything he did.
Yeah, he was called, to me, a man of peace, a man of reasoning, a man of right and wrong, a man of mercy, a man of understanding. But everybody hates that nowadays. See, they hate the truth. He was trying his best to open the people's mind and help them to see where we're at today. But they just like back in the day when Jesus was here. I ain't comparing him with Jesus because nobody can compare with him. But he was a peacemaker. He was carrying the word that preachers and all these other politicians didn't care. He was carrying the truth and what was right, what was wrong, how we should live. I heard him talk about transgenders and all that. Oh, he was really against that.
Yeah.
And
the most impressive thing is when he's talking about subjects like that, he's not talking from opinions. He gives out hard facts, and just people don't like facts anymore.
Is the church? The church is not a place where you go to be affirmed. The church is a place where you learn why you need the cross. The church is a place where you go to be corrected, not told how awesome you are. The church is a place where you learn what sin is and what the law of God is. You want to know why church rates have been going down the last 30 years? You see, most of America says, I don't need a savior. I'm the most important person ever. And they'll walk into kind of your regular modern church, and they'll be told how great they are. And they'll be told that you're the greatest person ever. These ridiculous television advertisements that I keep on saying, he gets us. That is the most narcissistic Christian ad ever. No, I'm sorry. Let me be very clear. He doesn't get you when you're watching pornography. He doesn't get you when you're going out drinking till 2 a.m. and not taking care of your kids. He doesn't get you when you're in the abortion clinic and you're driving the girl that you had premarital sex with. No, instead, he saves you from your sin, and you must bring yourself to repentance.
Yeah, I'm just reading my notes you give me, Charlie was a legacy, and he was more than a political person. He was a spiritual. He reminded young people that faith isn't outdated. It's a revolutionary. And now it's up to us to carry that message forward. See, he worked with the colleges. He wanted to get in their head and get them away from all this rioting and protesting and do his things. You get their mind set on what's right and wrong. That's what the man was trying to do. He would question people. They would come to him, atheists, all kinds. But he was smart enough to outdo their statement.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes a difference. He had the wisdom that God gave him. God gave him wisdom. something a lot of people don't have now. He give them the wisdom. And the Lord give him the wisdom, and he give them the wisdom. They just didn't accept it. And the man or woman or whatever, whoever shot him, hated the truth. And as we go along in life in this day and time, I might leave this world anytime, because my nature, my sense of getting old, I expect, I don't know the day, the hour, and neither do you, if I leave this world. But if I leave this world believing and trusting in the truth, like I think he lost his life because of the truth. And because of Jesus Christ, I think that man is at peace and rest now.
Yes.
And a better place than this. But it's sad that his family lost him because of the truth. How many people lose their life over the truth? Because the world don't like the truth. They don't like Jeff said, they don't like the facts. They don't like to look at it the way it is. They want to twist it around and make it look the way that suits them. And when I seen that man get shot, it was a spiritual bullet at my heart too. It made me feel so bad and so sad.
Yeah, that was probably the hardest day since 9/11.
And, it's hard to be holding my tears back. Because, really, I think the man was great. Not great with the world, but he was a good messenger for Jesus Christ. He was a good messenger for right and wrong. See, when somebody says, don't judge me, God don't expect you to judge. You're supposed to just give the message. If you don't want it, you don't have to take it. But it's up to us to believe in the truth and the right thing for us to speak our heart and what we feel and what we think is right. This man spoke what he thought was right, and he was right. He wanted to get in the heads of college students and all these people and get them to thinking about, here I am doing all these things and it's not right. He wanted to get them thinking that way. Here I am doing these things and siding with these the wicked people, these other people that are against the truth. He wanted them to get that in their heads so that they could maybe tell others and experience the things of right and wrong. That's what he did. I went to bed last night and I just kept on thinking about him. I stay awake and think about things that happen. And I wonder, people say, well, God is the cause of it. I said, no, it ain't God. It's the devil's the cause of it. God had nothing to do with that man dying. Maybe God wanted him now. Maybe later on, he would depart from what he was. But whatever it was, he was a man that seeked peace, righteousness, and, understanding. Open your eyes, open your head for the truth. Open your ears, open your mind. It's so sad. Makes me sick to my stomach what he does.
Yeah. That's what my brother-in-law was saying too. We were just physically sick from it. He had, a couple of little facts on him. He started his organization when he was 18, didn't go to college, tried getting into West Point, couldn't get into West Point. Chicago Cubs fan like me.
me is smart. He done went to West Point.
No,
I mean, he's a smart man.
no college. Amazing. And he had 30. His organization was at 3,200 campuses throughout the country, and that's a big influence in the last election. I had one more clip here. A rabbi that I see often had some good words to say last night. I don't know his name, but he's on quite often and has lots of good words.
What I really want to add to what was being said is Charlie Kirk was the Abraham of our times. I know that people are going to say, Abraham, yes. What did Abraham do? He was one individual in a world where they were throwing their children into volcanoes, and he challenged everybody, come to my tent. Let's talk. Judaism began on ideas. Judaism began on education. The whole world's religions, the basic religions, all came from conversation in a tent. Charlie Kirk never got angry at anybody. Abraham never got angry at anybody. Look at Abraham built. Now look at these 3,000 people. You just killed their main guy. Do you see rioting in the streets? Do you see anybody going across America saying we're going to go no justice, no peace? No. You know what they're all doing? They're all talking about how can we make America better? How can we become better? And that is the threat to the other side. Now let me explain in a minute. Could you imagine I have an oath of office to take care of my people? People being murdered all over my streets. And somebody wants to come in and say, I want to give you more police. And you say, no, he really is a dictator. He really wants to take over the power. Just remember, the people that are in power of your city are scared of losing their power, while your son tomorrow may be killed. Charlie Kirk was teaching everybody, stand up, be an individual. You don't need the government. You empowered by God to make America.
From refusal, I accept him in so many different places. In his lifetime, 31 years old, the man made a mark in this world that no one else has ever made other than Jesus Christ. God bless you.
The views and opinions expressed on all Talkin Live Show presentations are those of the host and their guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Talkin Live TV Broadcast Studio, EPB Fiber Optics, or by this network or its management.